Alright, welcome back to another manga chapter review. Today we are doing chapter 322 of Black Clover, and this week is extra hype. As we know in the last chapter, Asta got beat bad and is being healed up by Mimosa after fighting a not even fully formed Luciforo. And this week takes off where Nash is coming back into the battle and he's going to help Asta. First we cut to Yuno and Mary Luna trying to fight Luciforo with no avail. None of their attacks are working. And it's going crazy. They're both like speeding up, teleporting, slashing, punching, all the whole thing. And Luciforo's getting mad pissed. To the point where he calls his little servant buddy, I think his name is Adradmalich. I gotta wait for like the anime to say this because I don't know what it is. But he says, yo, deal with them because I need to kill that anti-magic boy. Because Asta is the biggest threat to Luciforo. Because Asta's attack is the only thing that can harm Lucifer. While Minor has, a cut on his finger and one of his horns being cut off. Asta's the only thing that can harm him currently in this world. But the little servant dude, I'm going to call him Lich, is like, nah, I'm not going to do it. And it's like, and Lucifer's like, why not, you bastard? And he's like, I just like to watch. He literally just, I like to watch. And he's just like laughing because it's so fun watching Lucifer just fighting and like kind of like he's struggling, but he's not taking any damage because these people are just resentless to him. So he just likes it. And then Mary Lorna makes fun of him, saying like, "Oh, you aren't too popular." And just while he's wailing on him, her arm kind of like disappears, kind of like can't hold its shape like that, and she's really confused. And then the little Lich says like, "Oh, I guess you're pushing the boundaries between mana and that's kind of like, that's what humans do, that's human limits, I suppose." I'm going to talk about that later when I do my theory. But next we cut to, Lucifer kind of pounding them both and using this technique called scatter, or it might just be in saying scatter, either one, but he pounding, in back to back, slamming to the ground, rocks flying everywhere. And then finally, out of the cracks, Nosh comes in with his Devil Union mode, Canis X equips, which is like two giant dog heads, and they're like got the chains too, and they're like grabbing both his arms and holding him in place. While Asta comes in with his katana from Yami, and he is going to try to slice his head off. However, nope. Nosh is like, I'm gonna give my life. But Lucifer's like not having, he just like flexes and both the demons kind of like the dog heads just like disappear. And then he sees Asta, it's like, there you are, Asta, you brat, and he's about to severely beat Asta in. But Notch jumps in the middle trying to take the head, and he's content to die. However, at the last minute, the one and only GOAT, the leader, the Black Bull, Yami himself, pulls out his black singularity to disable the gravity and a new sword. He says, long time no see, Vice Captain. Want to tell me what the hell you think you're doing? He pulls out with a brand new sword. It has like tree parts to it, and he just blocks the punch. No one else can do this, but Yami just got out of the World Tree thing drained. He comes out and blocks the punch from Lucifora, who's been wailing on every other captain. So you already know what's about to get into. Alright, now let's get into the theory. So, two theories I want to bring up is, one, with the mana thing with Marileona and Lesh, which is like how Marileona's body and is like her new kind of mana-ish form or fire form. I think it's called Hellfire form. And it's like it's not holding her shape anymore. And I have a theory that when magic users, especially humans, use, mana zone or mana base, amps to their body, with their physical body, that there's a certain point where their body will transform into mana, and they can't control that mana, so the body will kind of dissolve. So I wouldn't be surprised if Marileona, after this fight, is missing some body parts, or has to constantly stay in this mana form in order to stay alive, or she might even die. That'd be interesting to throw her out. But I would hate to see it because Marileona, she does a lot, but she does a lot in the background, which I hate to see because she's such an interesting character, to say the least. So I was just wondering, maybe there's something that has to do with extreme magic the elves learn. Maybe it's like a counter to this like complete monetization. That's what I'm gonna call it, trademark. So they they can stay in their physical form while using high amounts of mana. And maybe the devils can use this too, which kind of explains why some of the devils kind of like this like lackish energy-like form. Specifically, like a lot of Asa's devil, it used to have that black energy form, which we know is anti-magic. But a lot of other devils come through that, like Nasha's devils can like kind of shapeshift a little bit with their energy, so maybe that's why. So interesting. Or maybe devils are beings made of pure mana, which makes sense to why Asa can cut him, because he is made of mana, and Asa's anti-magic swords negate mana. So there's that. And also, the relationship between Lish and Luciforo. I believe Luciforo's only has Lish's support because he's such a high-ranking devil in the demon world. But Lish is kind of like, for the human world, he's trying to let things play out and kind of gain his freedom. Just because, you're loyal to someone doesn't mean you like them. So I believe Lish is trying to kind of bide his time and not trying to do anything that will negatively impact his future, and trying to kind of let it play out, see if the humans can defeat Luciforo, because that means his freedom. And if he, if Luciforo gets beaten and the humans are on the brink of death, then he can just kind of take over the world and live how he wants to. And the final theory that I have, or want to talk about, is Yami's brand new sword. So as we know, Yami lost a sword back in his fight against Dante, I want to say 50 chapters ago, maybe more. And then Asa took a hold of it, and it's part of his new anti-magic sword. However, after, coming out of the World Tree, Yami has a new sword, and I don't know who made it for him, because he's do damage and block attacks from Luciforo. So that's why I'm thinking that Yami might be the one to defeat Luciforo, kind of like a rematch to Dante, but on a bigger scale, instead of Asta, who we know already, Asta's kind of at his edge. I could see, but I really want to see Yami, kind of pull out some new stuff, even though he's been trapped in this period, in this kind of stasis for a long time. But it'd be nice to see, the new sword kind of affecting his magic. And we already know he looks pretty ragged and beaten, but he's pulling out his singularity, which is a high-level magic technique, and I believe it's on Mana Zone. So, something to look forward in the future chapters, with, Yami coming in, doing the damn thing with Luciforo, and beating him, where, this is impossible, with all the dark magic, because we know dark magic has connection to the underworld. So, it would be out there to assume, the dark magic can, do damage, and plus we know his dimensional flash can, negate durability. So that could be another way that, Yami could do damage to a devil. And it's not the first time Yami has fought a devil and does serious damage to him. Back with the World Devil, Yami did his dimensional flash to a couple rooms in the palace the Ward Demon kind of created, and it kind of it cut him, it made a huge cut in him. So I'd like to see this more, and if you have any theories about what this chapter is going to lead into, or your own personal opinions about it, leave a comment and like for more. Peace out.